What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? It's Matthew, the designer. I'm back with another video. I have been quiet. In fact, I have disappeared in the dark for some time. The reason is I have been transitioning from a graphic designer to a brand strategist. So this video is not well structured. This video is not well planned. It's just gonna be me trying to throw some random thoughts around brand strategy. So my mission is to clearly explain to you in simple terms. Obviously the video is going to be long, but I'm going to try to simplify the term brand strategy, so that as a graphic designer or maybe as a business professional, you can understand the meaning of brand strategy, obviously from my own perspective. So I just landed a new job as a brand strategist. Before, I was working at a printing company, strictly as a graphic designer. So now I'm a brand strategist in the FMCG industry, which stands for fast moving consumer goods. All the goods that you consume from the retail, then they are coming from this industry, FMCG. So there are companies which are responsible for coming up with those products so that you can buy them. They come in different categories, starting from your food items to your cosmetics to your electric components. So that industry is called the FMCG, fast moving consumer goods. So I'm working as a brand strategist in one of the companies here in Johannesburg. So let's get into business. Then one might ask himself, what is a brand strategist? It's going to be a little bit tough for us to try to explain brand strategist without understanding strategy, or without breaking these two words apart, brand and strategy. I would like to believe that you understand the meaning of brand. Maybe you might have a deeper understanding from a branding person, or you might just have a shallow understanding of a brand. For instance, Nike is a brand, Virgin Active is a brand. Somebody said, no, I've got this clothing brand. I think that knowledge is sufficient enough for you to understand where I'm coming from. I'm going to put more emphasis on, first of all, explaining from my own perspective the word strategy, which I believe is the widely used word, but a bit misunderstood. I would like to believe so. So without wasting time, let's get into the details. If somebody talks of marketing strategy, of brand strategy, what are they actually talking about? What's the meaning of strategy? So first of all, I'm gonna explain the word strategy parallel to the word tactical. So whenever you plan something, you've got two ways of planning it. Planning a project, planning whatever that you are planning, you've got two ways of planning. Let's say you are planning you are planning about the overall company. Let's say, how are you gonna penetrate the market in 2021? There are two ways in which you can approach planning. You can plan strategically, and also you can plan tactically, which is strategic planning and tactical planning. Strategic planning will be your very, very, very high level planning. I can say your boardroom planning. I can say your CEO planning and management planning. And then your tactical planning, it's more of a lower level. Not lower in terms of it's not important, there's no ranking here, but lower because it's more of a hand to eye coordination kind of activities that will be involved. For instance, let's say we're planning about building a house. The CEO and the higher management might plan the look of it. How is it supposed to look? Is it going to be a flat house? Is it going to be an arc? Is it going to have some roof tiles? if which roof tiles and the form and the material, they don't really get into the details, but they are just looking at an overall general big point of view of things, that will be a strategic planning. When somebody is passing by the house, how do we want them to feel, or what will be their general comment? Do we want them to be like, wow? Do we want them to be amazed? Do we want them to be puzzled? That is more of a higher level strategic planning. And then your tactical planning will be your so-called artisan, your so-called bricklayers, your so-called plumbers, somebody who is some sort of on a lower level. Then again, please note this, not lower level in terms of importance, but in terms of hand-to-eye coordination. These people are responsible for planning the actual thing. They will talk about the material that is going to be used. These people are some sort of specialist. So strategic means more higher level, more general, more broader perspective that can be understood by anyone. So anything that has been planned strategically, it's supposed to be simple. It doesn't supposed to be industry specific. If I'm saying that let's discuss about strategic planning to our YouTube channel, it means that whatever that we talk about, it's supposed to be understood by people, whether they are in the industry, YouTube industry, or they are not in the YouTube industry. When we talk of tactical planning, we are talking of industry specific in terms of industry specificity, in terms of the material, in terms of the execution, in terms of everything that is involved in the actual implementation or the execution of a project. Strategic, higher level, and general, easy to understand. Tactical, a little bit tough to understand, because you need to be a specialist in order for you to understand the tactical side of it. So the word strategy represents some sort of a higher level planning. Now, let's say we have a scenario. I'm trying to now be more specific on strategy. Let's say we have a scenario of two guys who are given like the same task and also given the same resources. Let's say money, time, and let's say some sort of transportation, let's say, and then they are executing a certain project. How can we measure if one was more strategic and one like was not more strategic in terms of execution? Let's say now we are judging the result given the resources that they've been given. A person who has been strategic is going to be the one who's going to get more result or better result from the same resources. So in simple terms, a strategy is that thought process between the resources and the result. As a strategist is someone who, with limited resources, find a way to apply his mind, effort, thought process, and creativity, and come up with better result. So if you are a strategist, you are supposed to be responsible for thinking like, how can we get the most out of these limited resources? So when you think of the word strategy, think of resources and the result. Whatever that is in between that, the thought process or the planning between that, it's strategy. So between these two guys, the one who's going to get the most out of the limited resources, then we can ask him or her, what strategy have you used? You will find out the guy will tell you that no, look, I have strategized on my routes, given this money and also this type of transport or this type of a car. I have worked on my routes. Like, I've decided, instead of taking a longer route, I've decided to take a shorter route. That, to me, that is strategy. So a brand strategist will be a person who's looking at a brand, which is the not necessarily the identity, but the brand of a company, which is everything involved, from the identity, the visuals of the brand, and messaging, the look and feel, the type of market, and also and everything like in between. Take those things and then making sure that the execution of a brand, or the representation of the brand, or pushing the brand to the market, we get most result from limited resources. Looking at the resources that we have as a company and this brand, then how can we get the most out of the resources that we have as far as branding goes? Like, how are we going to represent ourselves to the market? How are we going to present ourselves to the market? What type of messaging, what type of the feeling that we want our customers to get or to catch whenever we talk about the brand, whenever we represent the brand. So a strategist will be that person who just multiply the result without changing the resources. So they only work on some sort of a higher level thinking. So I would like to believe that is a strategy. If I can explain a strategy in terms of military terms, I cannot do so without quoting like The Art of War. It's a book by Sun Tzu, which I believe it was some sort of a Chinese war veteran. He was like very brilliant on some sort of when it comes to war. So for instance, Sun Tzu, as one of his strategies is that, first of all, let's look at how he views war or fighting. In one of his teaching, he says that if it's possible for you to fight without even fighting, that will be his own way of doing it. He prefers like to even fight without fighting. So fighting is not the primary thing in war. If you are able to fight, to win without fighting, then that will be the best way. So according to him, he doesn't want to waste his energy. He's not about physical fitness and conquering and dominion. He's all about strictly winning. So he's saying that if you can win without fighting, then that will be the best way to go. Like, unless you have to fight, then you can fight. So he was more of a thought leader, I can say. He was always strategizing. So one of his strategy will be, you need to confuse the enemy. Plan like you're gonna attack from the left, and then make sure that you organize a solid troop from the right. Like what has been done into the actual resources. If he was having 10 soldiers, does this strategy makes him to have like some sort of 15 soldiers or 100 soldiers? No, it's the same soldier. So what he will do, he will maybe split the soldiers into the 3 soldiers need to go and make a fake attack on the left, and then 7 of them will go and do the actual attack on the right. And because of that, he has managed to win more battles. So for me, that will be a definition for strategy, the thought process in between the resources and the result. So if we put it in context of brand strategy, it will mean that given these resources, how well can you communicate this brand? How well can this brand be well received? And then that will be some sort of my own definition of strategy, and also some sort of like a brand strategy. So now let's try to be more specific into what I do for a living. At this point in time, I'm responsible for some sort of trying to find means and ways in which we can use so that the product can be well received, easily understood. Obviously, at the end of the day, we need to make some more sales. However, it's not all about sales. It's all about also brand awareness. It's all about how the customer perceive the brand. But in general, obviously, out of that, then it will drive more sales. What is a typical challenge of a brand strategist in the FMCG industry? At some point we had this product, which is a multi-purpose product. It can be used in different surfaces. You can use it on your wall, you can use it on your tiles, you can like use it on your fridge, you can, in terms of cleaning, you can use it in the bathroom, you can use it. So it has got a lot of uses, such that it's difficult even for us to explain to a customer. In trying to tell him that, okay, fine, you can use this item to clean your wall, they won't have a problem with it. You can use it to clean like fridge surfaces, you can use it to clean tiles, and then the moment you start to mention your bathroom and other things, obviously people start to be confused. So those are some of the challenges that you might face as a brand strategist. So you need to strategize, you need to find a way as to how can we bring this product to the market, or how can we represent this product in a market in such a way that it's going to be easily received, easily recognized, and also people, your customers, will know how to use it. Because sometimes when you are some sort of bringing a product to the market, usability is important. You might find out that you haven't done much work on your packaging, or even if the packaging explains the product, but some products are so confusing such that something needs to be done in order for them to be well received and also to be well understood. So I'm not gonna like some sort of prolong the video and make it like too long, since I didn't like do some little bit of planning around it. I was just sharing the thought that, okay, I have some sort of I've shifted some careers from being a graphic designer to a strategist. At the same time, I wanted you to get a concept as to what do I do for a living. So also, before I end the video, I would like to say I'm just gonna rebrand the channel, meaning that I'm gonna change the identity and also what I stand for as a content creator. Finally, I have found myself. At school I did IT software development, which is one of the things that I'm passionate about. I've been coding for some time, so I want to incorporate that, and I've been working professionally as a graphic designer. I want to incorporate that into my channel, and also I'm very high on branding. So now the channel is not gonna be Matthew, like the print graphic designer or the print specialist, because more of my content at the moment, it has been like from a printing perspective, since I've got a lot of experience with printing, obviously as a graphic designer, but I know some other things outside the scope of outside the design let's say boundaries. I can do application and printing, and I can also do some small signage things. So now I'm gonna be about your web design and development, your graphic design, and also branding. I have finally found myself, and I think that is the content that I can create without having some issues, and also it's very, very interesting for me to share such content. Then again, thank you so much for watching, and also don't forget to subscribe.